Hello, my friends. Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. How's it going? John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Inspired live stream. It's been a minute since we've been live here on Rumble and on YouTube, and there's so much going on. Um, but I wanted to come on with some positive observation and news and things that are really moving at a very, very impressive speed right now. But before I do that, let me welcome everybody with our inspired live stream mantra. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. Repeat with me, not after me, with me. We're healthy, wealthy, whole, and free. A powerful mantra that many have reported back to us. They've been using during their morning rituals, meditations, and so forth. And it has really helped them a whole lot to keep the focus on all those beautiful things. Let me welcome Divinius King. Good to see you. Cynthia's here. Kelly, Johnny, Stephen or Stefan Patterson. Good to see you. Jan is here. Christy, welcome. By the way, Christine, the wise thumbs in the live chat. Welcome, my love. I'm actually looking at her behind the camera. You can't see her, but I can. Then let me see. James is here. Welcome, everybody. Steve, Derek, good to see you all. So let me dive into it. National Memorial Gardens, beautiful. I think the world is currently moving at the speed of truth. It and what that means is I'll get into that, but we are observing things that we have never observed before, mainly in people. Of course, the outer circumstances and what is playing on the world stage reflects that, beautifully. But the thing with that is that because we're all in it, we don't acknowledge the progression of things so often because it's happening gradually, and so we don't see the huge leaps that our fellow brothers and sisters are currently making on Earth. And there's one thing that specifically stands out, and that's why I put that thumbnail up there with this beautiful door that, basically it shows a preview of a quantum leap. And a quantum leap is one huge, giant step that happens in almost an instant. It happens almost instantaneously. And we're currently, whether we realize it or not, in the world, we're observing quantum leaps at the speed of truth. And this is what I've been saying over and over for the last months, I believe. I've called this the manifestation of truth, period, in our shared history. Daily now, things are emerging on levels that we've never seen them emerge, and they are not hideable anymore. I'm not saying that the progression of things is always okay. Here's the truth coming out, then people get actually arrested or charged, or the progression is not quite there yet. But what is really important is that people finally feel a sync between what they have been feeling for so long, because they could feel the truth and they could feel the lies, and now they're seeing this emerge in their reality. And when you have conversations with them and you confirm a fact, something that has emerged, a lie that's become visible, they will say, well, I always felt this. And it's reassuring now to see that I wasn't crazy, I wasn't nuts, I wasn't just making this stuff up, I wasn't just a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. These things are now becoming common among people, and we're seeing this now that people from very, very mainstream backgrounds are changing their tune, and they're realizing there's really something terribly wrong, but also something terribly or beautifully right. And the door that I put on that picture represents the step that most people are having on the inside. Because when you, for the first time, awaken, when you begin to awaken from the first slumber, have you ever had a dream where you woke up and you knew you were dreaming, and then you woke up? But after a while, you woke up again and you realized, oh, I wasn't really awake. That was still a dream within a dream. And then you woke up one more time and it was still a dream within a dream within a dream, until you finally woke up and you thought, I'm back to reality. This is the real world. And this is now happening to people. And the beautiful thing was they used to be scared. They would go through this first stage of awakening. And the first stage of awakening is almost always seeing something clear in the world. Something happened on the inside, and then they see something that's clear in the world. Thank you so much, Jay Rocco, for your contribution. So they're seeing something, and it's like, how did I not see this all my life? And now I can't unsee it. Now it's there. And when that used to happen, people would they would stop and they would go, okay, cool. Now I see it and I go about my life. The beautiful thing now is that a large group of people is moving forward consistently, and they don't want to just figure out what's been going on in the world around them. They're going through the inward doors, and those doors are way more important than the ones outside. The inwards, the doors inside of them, the hidden compartments, the secret truths, and the dimensional quantum leap doors. People are beginning to walk through them. And the reason why they're walking through is because every time they make that step, something inside of them unlocks, a new level unlocks, right? A new achievement. It's like a beautiful, beautiful, fulfilling feeling when that happens. And when you walk through one of those doors, you think you have arrived. You think it can't get better than this. But then you live in that on that level for a while, and the next door appears when you're ready. And so the truth isn't one thing that you get all at once. The truth is a multidimensional, layered thing. And even if you get the outside right, it doesn't mean you have the whole picture. It just means you got one level right. But you cannot perceive and realize what the next level is until you make that inner leap. And this is what people are beginning to realize. All understanding, all perception that they have of the world is a reflection of where they are on the inside. And so their spiritual development, if you will, or their path to who they really are has to be in sync with how they're living in the world and with what they're seeing in the world. And this is something that is now becoming a common thing that people understand. They are making the connection. It's beautiful to watch. And I'm seeing this in random, of course, there are no random conversations, but I'm seeing this in random conversations when you reunite with people you haven't talked in a while, and you see the leap that they have made, but you also see that they have spiritually evolved. And I think spiritual evolution isn't so much learning, it's remembering, right? I think we misunderstand how this journey really works. We are unlearning everything that has kept us small. And by default, when we are moving beyond those limitations, our true self emerges more and more. The true beautiful being that we were created in the image. Just last night, I read Genesis. I picked up the Bible and read Genesis, and um, even reading scripture, any scripture. But if you read it, people say so often, I've read scripture all my life, but what I read now, I never saw before. What they really say is what I am comprehending now on a level that I'm really grasping what it means I never got before. Because you need a certain kind of experience, and you need a certain kind of inner evolution to see clearly on the outside. And this is what's now happening. This was never going to be an easy journey. This was never going to be easy. But the most satisfying and fulfilling thing when you're on it. And the beautiful thing is, Christine and I see this every day now. People want to go all the way on the inside, all the way on the outside. Nobody, nobody truly knows what that will look like. Nobody knows it, but we all agree. So many of us, we want to take those steps. We want to walk through those doors. We want to go to the next level, and we're not willing to settle for less than we were meant to be. I think this is what so many people are feeling, and it gives them courage when they are around others that feel similarly. It gives them courage when they see people that are willing and ready and committed to go all the way. And that's what's happening. It's almost like, when you're all by yourself, you think you're crazy. You think you've just gone mad. But when you see others around you that have a similar experience, it gives you permission to take the next step, whether you knew it or not. But it's like, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm not that crazy. This is actually happening to a lot of people. Let's see where this takes us. And we see these quantum leap experiences um, a lot of times when we're with a group of people. One example was over the last weeks, these group meetings, if you will, coincidences, of course not, but we were brought together with beautiful spirits and had wonderful conversations, and it felt like every one of those conversations was a quantum leap. It doesn't mean we always know what it all entails. It just feels like a big shift has happened just by being together, just by paths converging, just by words being exchanged and energy being exchanged. And we always walk away from these experiences so filled with, with excitement and joy for what's to come and what we're to co-create together. And another thing where we always experience this on a massive scale is the retreats that Christine and I do, the YATO retreats. We do them twice a year, and it's like, to explain it to you, I've probably never said this before, but it's like we enter a dimension when we're at those retreats on the beach there, and it's like we open a new door, and those who are willing to walk with us through that door at those retreats, it's almost unlimited as to how big the expansion can be, how deep the experience can be. And it is a sacred space for us. And with every retreat, the energy is higher, the frequency is higher, the experiences go even deeper. And what we feel more than anything, a readiness. And this readiness is something that we have always kind of missed. In a lot of other things we've done in the past, it always felt like, huh, people are not quite ready to make the real jump yet. At some point you got to jump, and you don't have a parachute, you don't have a safety net. You jump because you are able to fly, if you will. This is an allegory, of course. And now people are willing to jump. And so the next one is from March 30th to April 2nd. It's when we meet down at the beach in Florida. It's a beautiful, magical place that we were led to through a series of synchronicities that I sometimes share the story at the retreat, how we found that place. Absolutely unbelievable. The series of events that took us there and the magic that unfolded there and continues to unfold there. But really, it's about beautiful spirits um, not willing to settle for less than they can be anymore, and not willing to be held back by anything anymore. It's just a different time. It's a different time that we live in. And that's the positive news beyond anything, that people are ready. And it's not about the pension, the 401k anymore. It's not about the forms anymore. It's not about the security anymore. It's not about climbing the corporate ladder anymore. And if that's what you want to do, I mean, more power to you. That's your thing. But it isn't about those things anymore. People used to come to seminars or retreats, always, more than anything, aiming at being more successful in their professions, more money, more fame, more whatever. And while that still happens, and it's great and wonderful when that aspect is taken care of, but more than anything, people want to feel true fulfillment, and they want to know what their purpose is. They want to feel it with all its might, and they want for that purpose to take them over and give them the courage to live the life that they came here to live and to have the impact. And this is the second thing that is a characteristic in all the people that we meet now. The number one value, the number one desire is having an impact. They feel that they have a purpose that can impact others positively and have a positive impact on the world and on the whole. And that, to me, that inspires me more than anything. Because if you want to build a new company, wonderful. If you want all of these things, it's all good. No judgment here, and that's cool, and more power to you. And of course, we support everyone in their desires, but more people than ever desire to be part of this transformation that we're feeling on earth, to be part of creating something that their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren will be proud of. A true legacy, a real shift in the world. A real shift in the world. Can you imagine what that means? And in order to create that real shift in the world, we need to be the shift. You need to be the shift. You can't expect that the world around you will change, but you won't. By changing and changing, I don't mean new me, new year. I'm a recreate, reinvent myself. I don't talk about that. All I'm talking about is the real, authentic you. The you were always meant to be, but you were distracted from, you were led away from, you were told it's not valuable, you were told it's not important, you have to fit in, you have to adapt, you have to make yourself smaller, keep your head down, do what you're told, fill out the forms, all that stuff. I'm not talking about reinventing yourself. I'm talking about connecting with who you truly are. The God spark in you, the unique God spark in you. There's only one God spark like you. There's only one, and that is your unique expression of divine consciousness. That's who you truly are. And the language, how you call that, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that's what most people now really want. And they know when they feel that reconnection, when they have that experience, when purpose shines through more than anything, more than fear, more than ego, more than lust, more than anger, more than worry, when that light shines through you and outward, it's so powerful and it connects so deeply with others. That's the thing, you connect in with others when you feel a deep connection with a stranger. There are no strangers again, but when you feel that initial attraction, I'm not talking about this, the sexual attraction or the looks attraction, but when you meet someone and you feel so deeply connected to them, what is really connecting is your light, your spirit to their spirit. But in order for that connection to happen, you need to activate it. You need to let it shine. You need to reconnect with it. You need to reestablish that initial connection. And that is beginning to happen on a massive scale. It's so beautiful, and it's empowering and inspiring. And we can't wait for March 30th to roll around, Christine and I. It can't come soon enough. It's still over a month and a half away, but in a little more than 6 weeks, I already know we're gonna have a first night together at that retreat. It's always a Thursday night when it starts, and we're gonna have an amazing experience with a group of people that are so ready, that are so ripe, that are so excited, that are so willing and so open to feeling that shift, to experiencing who they really are, to connecting with that part inside of them, and to not fall for any lies of limitations of they can't do it, they can't be it, it's impossible for them. We are moving beyond those limitations when we get together. As a matter of fact, we leave our everyday lives behind. That's what we do, and we move into a space that is new and unknown, and then we fill it with life and purpose. It's beyond description. That's why when people email us and say, give me a detailed overview of what's going to happen at this retreat, we say we really can't. We really can't. We know that we're willing to go all the way. but the group of people that shows up determines how far we really go. So all we can tell you is there are quantum leap experiences that are indescribable, and it's happening on a level of authenticity and integrity that that's maybe uh, not as usual in similar seminars. And we wanted to do 3 and 4 because people asked us, can you come to different places and can you do it there and there? The reason really why we went for two retreats this year again is because we go all in. We go all in with you. 4 days all in. And when you go 4 days all in, that kind of intensity, you can't do that every other weekend. You can't fake that. And if you would try to, you would begin to fake it, and we don't want to. We want to be authentic, real, intimate with all of you that are showing up and that are making that decision. We owe it to everyone, and we owe it to the creator, to go all in, to put everything out there without holding back. So if that kind of experience speaks to you, and if you feel like you're ready to have that kind of experience, then I think this would be a great fit for you. So we put the link in the description. There's a few slots still open. It's a small group. We keep it very small on purpose, because this is not your mass hype 300 people in a room jump up and down event. That's not it. This is not it. We go deep. We go into deep meditations, deep experiences. We really go all the way if you're ready to, and that you can't do with 300-400 people in a room. Not like that. So if that speaks to you, we put the link in the description. Again, March 30th to April 2nd. It's going to happen in Florida, Cape San Blas. And if you have questions, send us an email, info@inspiredchannel.net, and just let us know what your questions are. The beautiful thing is we're going to welcome back a number of people that have been at previous retreats, and that's also very, very beautiful, and exciting. But we're also very excited to meet all the wonderful new spirits that are going to come and share in this experience with us. So that's coming up. But friends, regardless of whether we see you at YATO or we see you here on YouTube or Rumble or Locals, or whether we meet you in the real world, and we've had these beautiful chance encounters in the last time, where people saw us and say, "Hey, aren't you the guy with that Inspire channel?" Or, "Oh, you're Christine." And it's so wonderful to meet people and hug and talk for a little bit and connect. And there's a shift happening, people. You can't deny it. And there are paid actors out there. Let me just put that out there. There are paid actors out there to tell you day in and day out that it's dark, it's inevitable, only bad stuff will happen, and that's just the way it goes. And we're just not those people. We don't believe in that. Why? Because the creator gave us free will. Christine said it so beautifully in our Honey Talks. It's the only show where you can see her on Locals. And she said it so beautifully. The creator gave us free will. We can make new choices every day. We can make a different decision every day. If we realize this, then we realize we're really in power. That's what free will means. So we're going to move forward. We're going to continue to show up every day. We're going to continue to put it all out there, everything, not hold back. Because why would we live a half-assed life? Or why would we do anything half-assed? That's not the way to go. So once again, we invite you, check it out, read up, see if this speaks to you. And if not, we'll see you here. We'll see you out there, and there'll be plenty of other opportunities. We just want to thank you for continually being with us on this journey, for co-creating, expanding, your beautiful comments, your emails, even your criticism, all of it. We want to thank you. Thank you for caring. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for, I kind of feel like we're locking arms and locking hands, and we're building a beautiful chain of love. And we're changing the place here, this whole place. one day at a time, one spirit at a time. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be back with you again very, very soon.